The Democratic National Committee trying to narrow the field of presidential candidates. It's imposing tighter requirements for candidates to make that next debate come November. Candidates are going to need to clear 3% in 4 different nationally recognized polls. They must also have 165,000 unique donors, with 600 donors in 20 different states. But there are complaints the new thresholds favor the wealthier candidates. Let's bring in Republican strategist John Thomas and Democratic strategist Robin Biro. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Robin,
Cheryl.
to you first. Do you think that your party is going a little too far with these requirements, or is this the way to move the path forward and get down to maybe, say, 5 top candidates?
Cheryl, from the boots on the ground perspective, from the Democrats that I affiliate myself with every day, they're glad to see that the DNC is taking this approach. The DNC's tried to be as fair as possible after, let's call it for what it is, the debacle that was 2016 and everything that came out in WikiLeaks. So they're operating from an abundance of caution here. These new requirements make sense, and I think we can all get behind them. So I think we're all eager to see who these 5 will be. 5, 6.
Yeah, 5, 6. And as we get to a narrow field, John, from the Republican side, you know, the president right now, of course, is dealing with this controversy over this phone call with the Ukrainian president. Joe Biden has come out swinging against President Trump, saying that he should release the contents of the phone call. We talked about it earlier, but this seems to really kind of create, again, a rallying cry for the Democrats.
Yeah, it's certainly going to push the Democrats further to the left in their primary and reward more extremism. A cautious, measured approach isn't going to be rewarded by any of the Democratic primary voters, quite frankly. So it most likely hurts a Joe Biden the most, who might be a little bit more measured here. But I actually agree with Robin. I think the DNC here is throttling back a little bit in their requirements. They could have been a lot tougher, but what they're finding is they don't need to make arbitrary polling requirements to cull the field. Gravity is taking place. These candidates are dropping like flies, and we're starting to see the race stabilize with the top 3 to 5 that just are there anyway. So I don't think actually the DNC has to cull the field. It'll naturally cull themselves.
Okay. Let's move on to the other issue that the Democrats are finding themselves dealing with right now. That with this, and this is Robin to you, is the issue of Nancy Pelosi. You know, she's dealing now with more and more calls for Democrats to start impeachment proceedings. But many of her critics say that could be a dangerous road to hoe, especially as you get so close to the 2020 election. That didn't work out for the Republicans when they tried to take down Bill Clinton in impeachment proceedings. What do you think the Democrats should do? Impeach or not?
That's a tough one. Look, Nancy Pelosi, her main mantra with everything that she does is to give the people what they want. But she also is a master at counting votes. So she knows that the 2018 midterms were basically about a referendum on the president, and that our Democratic voters want impeachment. But she's going to be counting those votes. She's going around silently and seeing the other members of Congress to see if the votes are there, because that's a bullet that you only have once.
Right. And it is a dangerous choice. And I think that she knows that, and that's why she's exuded caution over all of this. And to that same point, this could really energize the Republican base. I mean, you know, John, this could really, if the Republicans think, especially those that were on the fence about President Trump, say, you know what, they're attacking him, they're going after him, that could actually work in the president's favor.
Yeah, you're totally right, Cheryl. I mean, the Democrats were already charged up because Trump's on the ballot. Trump needs to make sure that the Republicans are charged up, and nothing turns out a base more than if your base thinks you're being unfairly treated. Just look at what happened to Kavanaugh in the midterms. This also has real impacts on those swing voters in the middle that broke for the Democrats in the midterms, but that are staunchly against impeachment. So it is a dangerous path for them to walk down. But I don't know that Pelosi can hold off her base anymore.
Yeah, well, she did write off this letter to the House Democrats. If the administration persists in blocking the whistleblower from disclosing to Congress a serious possible breach, constitutional duty, they will be entering a grave new chapter of lawlessness. So Nancy Pelosi has a lot on her plate right now and a lot to think about. And I think her next move needs to be very calculated, but knowing her, it will be. Robin, we appreciate your time, of course. And John, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Well, would you throw money down the drain?